She's a Malaysian who decided to step out of her comfort zone and start her own legal firm in a foreign country. In most legal firm businesses, the first hire would be a paralegal, but that was not what this entrepreneur had in mind. My guest today brings a fresh breath of air to the legal industry with her personal take on innovation and creativity. Hello and welcome to Season 7 of the Womenpreneur Asia podcast, and I'm your host, Krista Good. My mission is to uncover the stories and strategies of Asian women entrepreneurs in Asia to inspire you as you navigate your own business journey. This episode is, as always, sponsored by Redbox Studio. Today, I'm speaking to a Malaysian entrepreneur who is based in Hong Kong. Janice Chew is the principal and founder of JC Legal, a bespoke corporate law firm in Hong Kong. She started her firm in 2018 after the birth of a son, but she's also incredibly creative and innovative when it comes to offering legal solutions to her clients. Hers may be a young law firm, but is nonetheless mighty in its solutions. Onwards to today's interview, which you will find most interesting indeed. Hello, Janice. Welcome to Womenpreneur Asia.
Hi, everyone.
Usually when I interview a woman entrepreneur on my podcast, they usually start a business in their home country. But in your case, it's a little bit unusual. You are a Malaysian and you've started your business in Hong Kong. So could you give us a little backstory of how that happened?
To be frank, I never thought of being an entrepreneur in Hong Kong, not in Malaysia, because I was born and raised in Malaysia. But I was in Hong Kong because of my first job. Not first job, it's like a first overseas job. So I was being hired as a foreign lawyer in a US law firm in Hong Kong. I specialize in product liability. And then once you started your career in Hong Kong, and then you don't want to go back because all your contacts is all in Hong Kong. I got qualified in Hong Kong and then being a lawyer. So once you being a lawyer, you think about, okay, what is my next step? So am I going to be a lawyer forever, or am I going to, in-house? All these options are available at that time. So of course, if you ask me whether the journey is that smooth, no. I never thought about, I want to set up my own firm, JC Legal, and I want to be an entrepreneur. I never thought about that because that time when you were a lawyer, you were just thinking whether it's an in-house or a private practice lawyer. But when times come and you think about, oh, hey, I want to qualify in Hong Kong as well, so my career options would be better and, I have more choices. So once I qualify in Hong Kong, then I think about, hey, I want something else because I want to manage my own time. I want to have, my own, discretions as well, choices as well. So I started my own firm. Yeah, that's how I started in Hong Kong. Yeah.
And when was that?
It was actually in 2018, January 7th. Yeah, I think one of the main reasons that motivate me to start my own is because I had my son 1 year before. So I was thinking if I set up my own firm, then I can decide on my own time and I have my own schedule. I don't need other people to approve my leave applications. I was thinking like that. So naive, I can control my own time. But I think at the end, I was wrong because I was so busy when I first started because everything you need to invest your time, invest, everything you have. I have to juggle as a mom as well. So I think at that time I'm too naive, but it's also one of the reasons why I set up my own because of my son. I thought, I can be more flexible. But I would say after 2-3 years, once everything settled down, my time definitely it's more flexible. If I want to pick him up from school, I can decide on the schedule as well. Yeah.
Would you, looking back at it now, would you still do what you did in 2018?
I will. I think I will because I think one of my talent is client management, and I don't mind to talk to people. I love to talk to people. I think my talent is not really like just practice. My talent is, I found my own talent during the journey. Sometimes I can say I think out of the box. I don't follow the traditional rules like running a traditional law firm. And I think this business is all about people as well. So because you need to have a team, it's all people skill. You need to have the right clients. You need to manage your clients, manage your own team, and you need to think about some business development idea as well. So I think I'm more a rounded person. So if you ask me whether I regret or not to make the same thing, journey again, I would say no, because during this journey I found myself. So
I love that answer, because from what I see about your business and yourself, I think you take a little bit of a different approach to your business as a legal firm. So perhaps you can tell us a little bit about your firm right now. What does it do, and what kind of clients do you work with?
We are a full service law firm in Hong Kong. We do contentious and non-contentious in Hong Kong, but at the same time, we provide corporate services like in Malaysia as well, because we expand to Malaysia. Our office is actually in Paprika. So we bring clients that would like to invest in Malaysia, and at the same time, if let's say Malaysian clients, they're prepared to invest out from Malaysia, like they intend to go to UK, they intend to go to Hong Kong and China, and also Europe, we are there to help. So this is the corporate non-contentious side. For the contentious side, which it's in Hong Kong, we do more complicated contentious litigation case like shareholders dispute, company disputes as well. So more on cross-border. So it's like, I would say 90% of our clients are non-Hong Kong. It's actually expat or European clients, or they are from Southeast Asia, from Europe, or from UK. So we position ourselves. We are a local Hong Kong law firm, but at the same time, our culture, the work that we are doing, it's different. It's not like easy. I know some law firm they tend to do something very routine. So all I can say, even though I work with some of the barrister did mention that the cases that we are handling is very complicated. It's complex. Our clients, mainly corporate clients, and of course we do have individual as well. I'm sure everyone know Hong Kong legal fees is very, very high. So we're trying to use the lowest cost for the client to achieve the maximum result. So this is really what we intend to do. We intend to do. For the corporate side, for the non-contentious side, we do want to customize bespoke solutions for the clients. Because I know like a lot of people tend to have this misunderstanding about lawyer. Hey, lawyer is just, copy and paste, It's really not that, because we don't do copy and paste job. Of course, if I tell you when I draft something, I don't copy and paste, I was lying. We want to understand more on the client's background, what they're doing, the business, then only we provide a solution for the clients. During this journey, we do have some program for startup. We have Startup Steward program, just cater for startup, and we do have SME program, retainer for SME companies. So it's more depends on what kind of size company you are, and then we provide different kind of solutions, and also according to their budget as well.
So is that a little unusual in your industry, providing this kind of, I know the services are probably similar. I found it very interesting that the way you have actually packaged it is unusual and innovative. Can you tell us a little bit more about what went into thinking of this packages or programs for SMEs or even startups?
When I think about startup program, I was thinking from me as a law firm that is a startup, what am I looking for? So for instance, I'm looking for an IT service. I can't go to a mid-size IT firm and tell the IT firm, hey, I need this. And the price and the quotation that they're giving to me, it's not something I can afford. And I would tend to choose a monthly payment scheme, because I don't think I want to pay something a year annually if I'm a startup, So I tend to create those service and also the payment terms according to the needs of the company. The reason why the Startup Steward program from JC Legal is so successful is because I stand from their perspective and think about the program and the service. Once we kick off the startup, the feedback is so good, and then we think about, hey, how about those company that they need more services and they can have slightly higher legal fees as well. So we think about SME program, So it's every time the clients tell us what they need, and we think about that, hey, this is something that you might need. In the market, there are quite a lot of law firms doing the same thing. They are more traditional, and our firm, we dare to go outside and market this and say that we have this. I would say the team does a very good job in terms of pushing all this out, because the content at the end of the day, it's the same. Everyone is selling a legal services, legal solution. It's how you market it. That's very important. It's like the website, the IG. Even people might not give you a like, but they know what exactly JC Legal is doing. So I think, this is already creating a position for the firm. So I think each and every milestone, we created certain bits according to the market needs as well. Yeah.
And also know that you have a growth lead on your team to help you with engagement and also brand building and brand awareness.
Yeah.
Was that intentional?
So when I first started the firm, of course, I can tell you very frankly, I have very limited budget. A lot of my friends who are in the legal industry, they did talk to me and say, hey, you have this limited budget. I think you should hire a paralegal. But I was thinking, yes, I can hire a fee earner, a paralegal to help me. But I want to do something different. I want to position the firm in, a different way, But I was thinking, if I have this budget, I hire someone who is not legally qualified. It's a risk for me, because it's not many law firms that believe in BD, business development, because they market themselves only, not the brand itself. So after a few nights, I can't sleep, and I finally decided to hire someone who has these, she used to work in HKTDC, so she is in PR and she writes very good. Her writing, it's really awesome. So I decided to, why don't we try and work it out and let her be, in a BD lead, develop partnership, writing, try to position our firm. So I was thinking, maybe I should try. But I think I can proudly say after 2-3 years, I think this decision is right, because she can think not like a lawyer. She can think about what the people or the public needs, because it's not from legal industry. She can provide something different from different angle. The contributions from her, it's like, I would say it's quite important in a way. And then after, 4 years in our firm, then we have another growth lead that you mentioned. So it's carrying forward the value and also the BD, among the partnership as well for the firm. I would say I didn't do it on purpose, but I just feel that time, if you want to stand out from how many firms are there, like 9,000 law firms in Hong Kong, you need to do something different. You need to think out of the box. You can't think like a lawyer only. So that's why I need someone to give me something, a new idea, new partnership, bring me to another stage. You don't always think about, you're a lawyer, you can do this only. So there is things that you can explore, and there are partnerships there are government agencies that you can work with. So I think she bring me to another level that I never see, and she teach me a lot as well. Yeah.
That's what also caught my eye, or actually caught my interest, because I was thinking wow, interesting way of positioning a legal firm, and especially one that is run by a Malaysian in Hong Kong, right? So it's like a really different vibe to it. So besides the programs that you have, I also know you have a virtual legal clinic, which did very well during the pandemic. Could you talk a little bit about that as well?
Yeah, virtual legal clinic is also another idea that I created, and then the team ran it very well. We're still running virtual legal clinic right now. I have to say I had this idea during pandemic because Hong Kong closed down. They encouraged us during the pandemic, they encouraged us not to go to work. So we have to stay either at home or the clients can go to your office. I was thinking, oh, I might need to think something new. And also I noticed that there are some charity which they couldn't run any event during these 3 years. So if you are fully relying on the funding, then you might be running out of fund. I was thinking, what should I do in order to contribute to charity? At the same time, I can also tackle the clients that cannot come to our office. So I think about clinics. It's like when you're sick, you go to the doctor. And also the market has this misunderstanding about lawyer. When they talk about lawyer, when they think about lawyer, hey, lawyer must be very, very expensive. So if I'm gonna see them, how many thousand that I'm gonna use? I only see them when I'm really, really sick, like you go to see doctor, right? So I want to make use of this service platform to make the legal service more user-friendly, more friendly. I think about why don't we do a virtual legal clinic? You are sick in terms of legally you are sick. You want to see a lawyer, I will make a lawyer available online. We can cut the cost of you traveling around. So we just do it virtual by Zoom or by WhatsApp call. So we created this, and during the pandemic, it's actually quite popular because 20% of the fees we contribute to Mackey Cancer Center that time. We didn't raise a lot of funds for them, but it's also to do something good back to the society at the difficult time. Yeah. And until now, we are still running this virtual legal clinic.
Are you the only one out of the 9,000 firms doing this?
I know that Hong Kong Law Society, they have this free legal advice, for those who need it. When people approach us, I will first ask them, if you want a free legal advice, you can consider the Law Society. They have this free legal advice. Normally, I will tell them this is the fees that we will be charging. So if you want to charge legal advice, you can look for us. So I'm not sure whether the law firms are doing this, but I think, as far as I know, it's not a lot of law firms doing this. I mean, not in Malaysia, definitely, but in Hong Kong, I don't see a lot of people doing that. Yeah.
And no one has ever thought, wow, what a brilliant idea. Let's emulate JC Legal. They haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah. Because there are lots of people when they came to me and say, hey, they don't know who is Janice Chew, but they do know who is JC Legal. That makes me feel very surprised, I talked to someone before and then they know about this VLC virtual legal clinic. Hey, do you know this virtual legal clinic by JC Legal? So apparently that person is talking to JC, which is Janice Chew, but she doesn't know who is Janice Chew, but she knows JC Legal. I mean, in a way, I'm very, very proud and impressed because how good is this marketing in the industry? Like people know the brand than the person behind. That makes me very proud because especially in legal industry, not a lot of people can do that because they market themselves. Hey, Janice Chew, Janice Chew, Janice Chew. But in our firm, it's branding JC Legal, make it better than marketing the principal, herself. That's make me very impressed.
I like that point, right? I like the point that you have managed to create that kind of brand for your JC Legal, that people talk to you not knowing that you're the principal of JC Legal, right? But the other thing is, was it something that you set out to do, to build the brand over the individual as the principal and owner of JC Legal?
I don't have this intention to build the branding only, not, marketing myself, because I know as a young law firm, the principal should be the face of it. People will need to know who is the person behind. That's for sure. It's something that people would like to know. Letting people familiar the brand than the principal is also a very good thing throughout the journey, because It's also because it's too risky if I market myself only. At the end of the day, if let's say I collapse, the whole firm will collapse. But I think with this branding, if I can find someone that is interested to join me as a partner, it's a really good branding for them, because I really do all this dirty job and work.
All the legwork and groundwork.
Yes. So they are enjoying the period. Maybe I'm not saying that I will get a partner like now or tomorrow, but I think it's also something that person will enjoy, because it's a reputation, a business reputations as well. Yeah. Until now, I still go for, as a speaker, panel discussions, marketing myself as Janice Chew, but I prefer do it like I'm JC Legal. That would be something I think going forward we'll market more on the brand instead of myself. Yeah.
Okay. So now I want to go a little bit back to the early days where you started, 2018. Doesn't sound so early days now since you've been around for a number of years. But I'm sure back then, building a client base, even though you did focus on having a business development person come in instead of a paralegal, building a base of clients would have been, in the early days, would have been difficult, even though you did hire a business development person. How do you focus, or what do you focus on in those early days to build a client base?
I think you're right, because even though you have a BD is more on the kind of business development, more on partnership. But how I build this, it's more on the cases that you are doing and how you make the clients trust you, and they have good comments, and they will refer the clients to you. That's very important. And also, I think one of the reasons is because I'm very frank person. So if you come to me, I will not stir up something which I don't think is necessary. People will feel it, genuine honesty that you have. I think these make me stand out from others, and people like you, and people will refer cases to you. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that I have like 10 clients, every client like me. There are some clients they don't like the way I handle. But I would say, they feel it and they trust you, and they will definitely refer cases to you. At the same time, I work on different business partner, and I help them as well, because business partner is more on B2B. So in the initial period, I assist them from A to Z. I don't mind to incur more effort and time, because I believe a lot of entrepreneurs in the market, they know what this means, because you need to incur time as well. I run a local law firm. I need to stand out from others. I need a different platform to rely on as well. To bring our firm to another level, I need to have different kind of clients, not just the local. I remember I flew all the way to New York to persuade a New York law firm to associate with us. That trip is actually 3 days, 2 nights to New York. It's really tiring and stressful. I know nobody. I go there and knock the door. Of course, I have 1 or 2 friends there. But now when I look back, I think this is also part of the effort that I make to create the platform, because they did refer clients to me after that. Because when you go and see people might think, who are you? Why should I trust you? Why should I refer clients to you? And throughout the time that people see you are still in the social media, you are still in the market, you still do it very well, people trust you, and people will give you something and try. Even though they give us a client, they also doubt whether this firm can do it or not. But this is also the timing that you incur, and also whether your firm can still do well after a few years. These are the things that is important factors for you to grow your clientele. At the same time, I'm very blessed because my team member, they are very good. In a way, they manage the files and they also take care of the clients. If they're all relying on me, it's very risky at the end of the day. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow. But I'm very, very blessed that they are doing their own thing, and also they can take care of the clients. That's for sure. Yeah. Of course, when they have something which they cannot solve, they will come to me. But you want to grow the team, I need to have not just one Janice Chew. Maybe I need to have few different Janice Chew with different talent to take care of the firm. Yeah. That is also something very challenging.
Yes, which I was going to ask. The next question is that, growing your team. So you started JC Legal, you hired a BD person, and then how do you grow the team? I saw on your website you have a number of women. Of course, that's not intentional, as we spoke earlier, and you say, no, that was just the way it happened, right? But how did you have that? Because a lot of business owners have this fear too when they want to hire others. What was going through your mind as you thought, okay, let me hire this person, with all these different areas of expertise to come and help me? When do you think that you wanted to hire after you got your BD?
I think it's also, when you have more files and then you think, okay, you need to hire someone. I think hiring someone is not a difficult task. Being with someone, training them, and also accompanying them when they are not confident, and also coach them, make sure they are okay. You can't use one method to train everyone. So different people have different characters. I'm not saying that I'm very good in that, but in our firm, we are very transparent. Very, very transparent. There is no I do not know there is any gossip, but I would say the gossip must be against the client, I would say, or maybe sometime I will be the target, I don't know. But I think what they have what I think they are good is team spirit. Because when we have a file coming in, for instance, of injunctions, people are helping each other, even though the file is not for that particular lawyer, because they know that's for the firm. This is something is very impressive, because not a lot of firms would be willing to do that. This is not my fault. Why should I do it for you? But no, we don't have this issue. And if let's say one lawyer is on leave, the other lawyer is willingly help that lawyer on leave. So this is also something about how you want it to be, how you want the culture to be. It's not because when they come in, they can't ruin the firm like that. If the manager or if someone senior in the firm don't allow this happen. Because at the end, I just want them to be happy in a way. I'm not sure everyone will be happy to go to work every day. I'm sure some people might struggle to go to work, but at least we work as a team. We work together to get this done. Yeah. There are also good and bad experience throughout this journey. There are people that I like and I really appreciate, but at the end they have their own plan and they want to go, they want to leave. So this is also the things that as an entrepreneur, we need to learn. I was learning as well. I still remember when I moved from a small size office to a bigger office, in a way increased the cost. But I hope at the same time give a better platform for my colleagues to expand their own service as well. But there was also people that it's not in line with what I'm thinking. The second day when we moved to the bigger office, he came to me and tell me, hey, I have a better offer. From an entrepreneur point of view, I can just stay in a smaller size office. I don't invest anything. All the cost that I supposed to invest is inside my pocket. But I'm willing to share because I want to grow the platform. And when time comes, you can go and market yourself and you have your own clientele. You don't need to do it. You don't need to invest from your pocket. But eventually, I need to learn about people come and people leave. This is also not something that I can control. I can't control what people want to do at the end. I have to say I'm still learning. I'm not saying that I'm a good leader, but I'm really trying my best to improve. There are things that I have to improve. For instance, I have very short temper sometimes. It's not because I just shout at people. No, it's just like, when you have like 1,000 things on your table, people mess this up, you will have some emotions. But at the end, I don't attack that person. I just attack the things. Why is this like that? So I know that this is also the weakness that I should improve as well. So I always remind myself there is something you can do better. Yeah. So that's how Yeah. I would say the most challenging part to me is people, especially your own people. Because if you have 12 people in the team, 12 people have different characters, different attitude.
It's pretty impressive. I mean, the way that you have built up the team culture where people are so willing to jump in and help each other. You know, it's not like it's your work or my work. It's like our work together. So you must give yourself some pats on the back for creating that culture, because I don't think that culture just came up by itself. I'm sure there were some areas where, you know, they learned or they understood that there's a certain culture expectation of people working with JC Legal. So I think that's what being proud of.
Because I used to be a consultant in a local Hong Kong local firm before I set up my own. So that time, because you are not the founder, so a lot of things that you don't like and lots of culture that you think that it should not be like that. So you can't change it because you're not the founder. So I keep everything in mind, and when I set up, I don't hope this happen in our firm. Even though there are one or two team members that they are the founding members as well, they set up the firm together with me. They are quite senior in the firm. I always remind them, don't be someone that people will think that you, because of your seniority and because you are close to the founders, you can do whatever you want. This is something that I constantly remind them. I mean, sometimes you will just, unconsciously you fall into that. And I hope that we don't have this in our firm. Yeah.
So now coming back a little bit about starting your own boutique law firm, right? And starting it in a foreign country is really a significant undertaking. Can you share some of the initial challenges and obstacles you face when you establish your firm in Hong Kong?
I think a lot of people might think Hong Kong and Malaysia, their culture are quite similar. I speak Cantonese, I speak Mandarin as well. So in terms of culture, it's not very different. But I have to say, the culture is very, very different, especially in working environment. So as a Malaysian, we are very blunt. I would say blunt and, naive sometimes. If you like it, I just tell you, oh, I like it. If I don't like it, I will just tell you I don't like it. But in Hong Kong, people will not express themselves. They might say one, but at the end, this is not what they're really thinking. So these are the things that I learned during the journey. Yeah. But I don't want to change my Malaysian character in a way, because I think it's very important for me to stand out from the crowd. Because if I change, I will be one of them in the 8,000 principal or partner. So there's no difference. I want to keep this, as who I am. But I think this culture also made me learn a lot of experience, and I make a lot of mistakes because I don't expect this. There are lots of up and down, but when you're down, you're really down, because especially you think that the people around you betraying you, but they are not. It's their culture. So these are the things I feel like it's challenging, but I already accepted it. And I accepted it, and I don't feel bad anymore. I don't feel like, hey, I feel betrayed. No, at the end, it's how you look at it. But at the same time, I don't want to change. The second thing I would say the challenging part is, I would say, is people as well. So the culture, the people, it's also something that I think is challenging. But for the people, once you adapt to the culture, the people, it's not that difficult. But the law firm that we are running here, we have different clients, like European clients, they have their own culture. Hong Kong clients are Hong Kong culture, Malaysian, Singaporean, UK, French, Dutch clients. Sometimes language is a barrier. They can't fully express what they want. So there are lots of misunderstanding. So the first thing I will ask my colleague is, where's this client coming from? If I know where's this client coming from, I can roughly tell, okay, what this client is looking at, how to interpret what he wants. So this is something that our firm is not bad at it, because we have different culture of clients. So
which means you're good at it. Which means you're really actually good at it.
But we learn.
Define, right? Yeah, to
Yes,
define
we
who they
learn.
are and what they want from
Yes.
you.
Yeah, we
Okay.
learn as well. We learn as well. PRC clients, they have different expectations as well. So I think this is how and why people pay for your service. It's just not like doing the paperwork. It's also how are you going to understand the culture more and adapt to it. So I think these two things I would say it's quite challenging. Apart from that, I think in terms of time, no one has enough time. So it depends on how you juggle your time and your family. This is not something I feel like is super challenging. But these two things I feel like as a foreign entrepreneurs in Hong Kong, it's also something that I learned a lot during this journey. But at the same time, everyone when they tell me, hey, I want to expand to Malaysia, first of all, do you know Malaysia culture? You think if you can speak Cantonese or Mandarin, you know Malaysia culture already? Then no, you don't know it that well. So these are the things that I always advise my client. Know the culture before you step into the country. Yeah.
Does it mean that they have to spend some time in the country before they even start a business here?
I would say not really, because you see in Hong Kong, we have Malaysia Association, we have Malaysia Chamber of Commerce. I'm lucky enough to be elected as the chair lady of Malaysia Association. So we have always have a bunch of Malaysia having food, makan. We have
Makan seems
activities
to be a
together.
common activity among Malaysians anyway.
Yeah. Yes, and then also we have Dragon Boat. So if you want to know the Malaysian culture, you join Malaysia associations. You know roughly how a Malaysian behave, what they want to do. Always makan, they enjoy food. So these are the things you know. And then from there, you will get information from the Malaysian in Hong Kong, what's exactly the culture in Malaysia. So before you really step into it. So this is also something that they all Malaysia Chamber of Commerce, they're full of Malaysian business people in the Chamber of Commerce. So these are the things that they should do some study before going into market. I mean, at the same time, it's applicable to Malaysian coming to Hong Kong or coming to China. So you thought you can speak Mandarin, you know China? No. So it's just different. They have different game rules. They have different, working environment as well. Yeah.
And now that you've been in business for a number of years, I know you mentioned that a lot of things is about people, but what do you really like or enjoy most about your business? Besides the time that you get to, you said initially started because you want to have time with your family, but then of course, at the same time, I also know that you said that you're pretty good with time management, but what exactly do you enjoy about your business right now after so many years?
This is a very, very good question. So long time I didn't really have time to think about this. So I have to say, I feel happy and I feel motivated every time when I step into the office. Of course, there is downtime as well. There is downtime that I have something that I cannot solve. Of course, I would be frustrated. But I think I enjoy providing solutions to my clients. This is the practice side that I really enjoy. I really think out of the box. I can provide something that they never think about. This is the practice side. For the non-practicing side is I like to do something to connect people. So for instance, if I host an event, if I see people connecting to each other, I feel very happy. Because this is not something that, hey, they will bring business to me, to my firm. It's I can see people connect in the event that I hosted. I feel like we are, as a law firm or, as a person, I contribute to the society. Yeah, because they might have a big project going forward. If I know that person, for instance, my team member, if I know their strength, I know how to use their strength and make them perform in a better way. Yeah, I need to know that person better. So when they can perform better, they can contribute, I feel good on that. Because I know, no one might able to see it. If you go to a big firm, the big firm wouldn't care. I just ask you to do the job, you do the job. But I would like to know what's that person's strength, what is their weakness, then how to grow that. This is something I'm really happy to see them growing. So this is also something I feel motivated. And if you ask me whether I will be a lawyer for the rest of my life, I know it's still early to say that, but I will keep my options open, because at my age right now, I really think about what I really want to do during my retirement age. I would like to have a platform to grow talented artists, because I love art. I hope that these artists will have a room to show their talents to the world. It's not something very realistic right now because I'm still running a law firm. I think as an artist, it's not easy, because whether your art is good or not is very subjective. You really need to meet the right persons that appreciate your art. Then people will willing to spend that and willing to bring their art back. Some artists are very talented, but they might not be able to meet the right person. And there you go. That's the rest of their life. They have to do something.
And there goes their art, right? There goes their art,
yes.
Because nobody noticed their art. Okay, so now you open something very interesting. Art. So is that something that you do in your pastime? Do you do art? Or paint or draw?
I can't, but I mean, because to me, I like to go to art gallery and if you go to my office, you will see I have lots of Malaysian artists. Of course, because I'm Malaysian, right? Of course, the first place that I'm going to explore would be Malaysia. I have French artists, I have Thailand artists in our law firm. So when we have the art, we also introduce the artists as well with a description on the wall. So it's more like collecting those art that I personally think is good. You might not be able, you might not like it, but I would appreciate that. So I will put it there and introduce who's the artist. So we have quite a number of art in our office. Yeah.
That is pretty interesting about you. I would have never thought about that part about you. Like, I was thinking like a law, legal stuff. And suddenly, hey, here's an art enthusiast, or someone who appreciates art, or someone who likes to support artists in their, by buying or showcasing their work. So very interesting indeed. Okay, so we've talked a lot about your business. So let's have a couple of minutes to talk about you as an individual. Where do you grow up in? I know you're Malaysian. You grew up in Malaysia. Where do you grow up in, and what was your life like before Hong Kong? Before all this madness of starting your own firm?
So I was born in KL. My dad is actually from Cameron Highlands, but he studied in Penang and he moved to KL. So I was educated in a Chinese independent school, Zhonghua Duzhong, so in Jalan Ipoh. And then after that, I went to UK to have my degree, LLB. So and I practiced as a litigations lawyer in a local firm in Malaysia for almost 5 years before I moved to Hong Kong. So basically, my life in Malaysia is like student and practice for 5 years. I worked in Malaysia for almost 5 years before coming to Hong Kong. So I'm a typical Malaysian. I love Malaysian food, and I love spicy food. Everyone think about Janice Chew, they know what Janice Chew like is spicy food, that's for sure. And then basically it's a boring life before that. Now too.
Now you probably think of it like, oh, there's life in Malaysia and life in Hong Kong. Are there like stark differences between the two lives that you had in different countries?
I would say before I moved to Hong Kong, I tend to be very conservative. Conservative in means or I don't like to try anything. I don't like sports. I don't like workout. It's like a typical, it's typical, like I don't want to try anything. Yeah, but once you are here in Hong Kong, you have different culture friends, right? You have like European friends, you have like New York friends. They will bring you, to places that you've never been, the things that you never try. And then, I love to do sports in Hong Kong. Can you imagine? If you ask me, I think Hong Kong is definitely my second home because my career is here. But if you ask me whether I still want to, at the end, whether I want to retire in Hong Kong, I would say no, because I still love Malaysia very much. That's really deep inside inner heart of me. It's so Malaysian. It's like my parents are still there, my family, my best friend is still in Malaysia. Yeah, but it's just the connections, everything, it's located in Hong Kong right now. So yeah, I would say Malaysian/Hong Kong, but I think at the end I will move back to Malaysia, that's for sure.
Okay. So if just say someone came and asked you, so Janice, what are you no longer afraid of?
No longer afraid of?
Yeah, no longer afraid of.
I would say I'm no longer afraid of being rejected. And also, I'm no longer afraid what people think about me or what people judge about me. Yeah. When you were young, you are afraid of how people think about you. And also, yeah, you just cannot accept rejections. So like right now, when my son cannot accept no, I just feel disappointed because there are so many no in the future that you will face. Yeah. When you started your own business, there are so many no that are waiting for you. No from your colleagues, no from your clients, no from someone that you trust. And we just can't take no when we were young. But I started to feel that no is a norm. Yeah, you don't feel like, oh, he rejected or she rejected me, it's because I'm not good enough. You need to openly accept this no and move forward quickly. Yeah. So, and I know that a lot of youngsters nowadays, they are difficult to accept rejection. Yeah, and when it comes to a certain age, you feel like, no, it's to make you better, improve yourself and start again. That's the things that I'm not afraid of anymore. And I'm really afraid of how people think about me. But right now, because you have so many roles that you need to play, you are being sent to the stage, you need to do a public speaking. The stage fear is no longer there because you don't mind how people judge you already. You don't care. So you just do whatever you need to do. So I think these are all people will go through eventually. And I hope that you guys just learn during the journey. Make mistake is fine, but don't make the mistake for a second or third time because you need to learn from the mistake and go on with your life.
And what's the craziest thing you've done so far?
I think the craziest thing that I've done so far is to start up this firm and to give out my stable salary. Who wants to start up your own firm but you don't have a stable salary? That's the craziest thing. If you ask me right now, it's different. Now, if you have a bit of saving and you want to venture into different things, then you have the saving. Can you imagine when I first started, I don't even have a stable salary. So basically, if I go to a law firm, I can have a comfortable salary. And I decided to give up that part and set up my own. You have no guarantee what's going to happen, no confidence that what is going to happen. And your salary will be up 80%, down 90% the next day. So these are the things I think is very crazy things that I've ever done, to be frank. Because if you ask me again whether I can give up everything and restart this again, I'm not sure. Yeah, at my age right now. But I think this is also, I think this is quite crazy for me right now.
And what personal goal are you most focused on currently?
I want to try my best in this 10 years time to grow the firm to the maximum that I can. Also to find a business partner that are in line with my goal. And after 10 years, I hope that I have the opportunities to do something that I really enjoy, as I mentioned just now. Yeah. I mean, if you ask me whether I really want to retire and do nothing, I would say no. I think I will do until, I will work until I die. That's for sure. Because if you enjoy working, you don't really need a retirement. Yeah. So I hope that this 10 years time, I can do the maximum for the firm, build the brand to another level, and find a suitable persons to work together. That's what I intend to do.
And so anyone listening to this who has some leads or some information for Janice, just reach out to her. And finally, what is that final takeaway that you want people to take to heart when you finish listening to this? After everything we learned about Janice and JC Legal and the things that you have done, what is it that you want them to go back and think, wow, that's Janice's advice or Janice's recommendation for me?
I think in your life, it's like a journey, and each stage you've been through different kind of milestones, but remember to stay out of your comfort zone. Everyone tend to go for a comfort level and I'll stay there for a long time. But I think what I achieve nowadays is all because I'm willing to step out of my comfort zone. Especially I give up my stable salary, I give up to work in a law firm, and I decided to start my own. So these are all uncomfort zone, I would say. But I'm willing to take this and move forward. So if you're too comfortable, of course, this is a matter of choice. This is something that you decide. But if you want to achieve something, you might need to give up something as well. You need to, sacrifice something. So I think you need to step out of your comfort zone when you are young. So when you're older, it's difficult. Yeah. And also, you need to accept no at the same time. And just don't care what people think about you. If you hold tight on what you think is right, these are the things that I think as an entrepreneur, you should beware of and you should take note. Yeah.
And finally, where can people connect with you if they want to?
They can type JC Legal.
Okay.
They can type
very
JC
Googleable.
Legal.
Very Googleable. Very searchable.
Yeah. And then they can follow my IG, janice.jc.chew. And also they can go to JC Legal website easily because our website is quite updated.
Thank you so much, Janice. I truly appreciate our interview today. What you're doing is very interesting. And so I think that itself is impressive because not many lawyers would step out of their comfort zone and try on innovative approaches to offering what we call similar solutions, but with a twist, right? And so I think that people can be innovative within their own space, even though sometimes you have all the constraints and all the rules and regulations about your profession, you can still do something within that space that you are in. So thank you so much, Janice, for spending time with us. And I really hope that people will connect with you and follow you. And of course, if any Malaysians are listening to this and you ever, go to Hong Kong or decide to start a business in Hong Kong, you know who to look for when you get there.
Thank you, Crystal.
Thank you. You can take the Malaysian out of Malaysia, but you can't take the Malaysianness out of her. I find this to be so absolutely true for Janice. She's still Malaysian at heart, although she established her legal business in Hong Kong. Janice is one person who is shaking up the legal industry, and going by the awards her firm has won, she's headed towards some amazing milestones indeed. You can find out more about the awards she has won and all the amazing things she has done through the show notes on our website at womenpreneurasia.com. What I love most is her innovative spirit and that she employs unusual methods to market a business. Here's a fun fact. I was connected to Janice through Ms. Ho Ji Eng of the Hong Kong Trade Development Council in Kuala Lumpur. So here's a big shout out to Ms. Ho, whom I had met at a trade dinner. If you're new to my podcast, why not hit the subscribe button and get episodes as they are published on a weekly basis when my season is in session. Every season comprises 14 episodes, and every episode features an Asian woman entrepreneur's life, business, and lessons we can all learn from. If you're a returning listener, I thank you for giving me your time. And please share this episode with a friend. Every little bit helps in helping my podcast go far and wide. This is Krista Gun, your host, and you have been listening to the Womenpreneur Asia podcast. I will see you next Friday with another brand new episode.